Hello everybody and welcome to Rainbow Family Storytime at Gail Borden Library. My name is Mr. Aaron. I will be your host for today's event, and thank you to everyone who is here with us for the storytime today. We appreciate you being here, and we hope that you enjoy these stories with LGBTQ+ themes of inclusivity and celebration. Without further ado, we'll jump right into our hello song. We'll read 5 books, and then we'll have a nice goodbye song to wrap things up. Thank you again for being here today. To kick things off, we will be having a nice hello song with some different things we can do to get ourselves moving and pumped up for this story time. So we'll just jump right into it. Feel free to sing along or move along as you wish to do so. We clap and say hello, we clap and say hello. With our friends at story time, we clap and say hello. Next we're gonna wave. We wave and say hello, we wave and say hello. With our friends at story time, we wave and say hello. Hello, friends. And last but certainly not least, we've got to do some dancing. We dance and say hello, we dance and say hello. With our friends at story time, we dance and say hello. Now that we are all warmed up and pumped up for our story time today, I'd like to give a thank you to all of our storytellers helping us out and making the story time possible. Thank you to Kayla, they have read all our welcome as well as the family book. Thank you to Alex for reading Julian as a mermaid. Then I will be reading Worm Loves Worm, and one of my personal favorite stories of all time, I Am Perfectly Designed. Without further ado, we'll dive right in and start off with Kayla reading all our welcome.
Kayla, I use they, them pronouns, and I'm going to be reading this book, All Are Welcome, by Alexandra Penfold and Suzanne Kaufmann. Pencils sharpened in their case. Bells are ringing, let's make haste. School's beginning, dreams to chase. All are welcome here. No matter how you start your day, what you wear or when you play, or if you come from far away, all are welcome here. In our classroom safe and sound, fears are lost and hope is found. Raise your hand, we'll go around. All are welcome here. Gather now, let's all take part. We'll play music, we'll make art. We'll share stories from the heart. All are welcome here. Time for lunch, what a spread. A dozen different kinds of bread. Pass it around till everyone's fed. All are welcome here. Open doors, rush outside. We will swing, we will slide. We'll have fun side by side. All are welcome here. We're part of a community. Our strength is our diversity, a shelter from adversity. All are welcome here. We will learn from each other. Special talents we'll uncover. There's a big world to discover. All are welcome here. So much to learn, so much to do. And when the busy day is through, can't wait to come back, start anew. All are welcome here. Head for home to get some rest and greet tomorrow ready and fresh. Our time together is the best. All are welcome here. You have a place here. You have a space here. You are welcome here.
The very first book that I'll be reading with you today, with the help of my puppet friends, is Worm Loves Worm, written by J.J. Austrian, illustrated by Mike Curatao. Worm loves Worm. "Let's be married," says Worm to Worm. "Yes," answers Worm, "let's be married." It looks like they're looking at something. What do you think they're looking at? Let's find out. "Wait," says Cricket. "You'll need someone to marry you. That's how it's always been done. I'll marry you." "Now can we be married?" asks Worm. Looks like one of the worms is looking at something again. What do you think they see? "Wait," says Beetle. "You've got to have a best beetle. Naturally, that would be me." "Now can we be married?" asks Worm. Do you think they'll be married? Let's find out. Wait, say the bees. You need brides, bees. Can we be the brides, bees? Please, please, please. Yes, says Worm. Now can we be married? Do you think they'll be married? Let's see what happens. You'll need to get rings to wear on your fingers, says Cricket. That's how it's always been done. But we don't have fingers, says Worm. Do you have fingers? Can you wriggle them around? Can you wave hi to Mr. Cricket? Hello, Mr. Cricket. What do you think the worms will do if they don't have fingers? We can wear them like belts, says Worm. Wonderful, says Worm. Now we can be married. Do you think they can be married now? Or do you think something is going to happen? Just make sure to have a band so we can dance, says Beetle. But we don't have feet to dance with, says Worm. Do you have feet to dance with? Can you stomp them around as fast as you can? We can just wiggle around, says Worm, like this. Fun, says Worm. Now we can be married. Do you think they can be married now? Or do you think something's going to happen? But you still need a white dress, a tuxedo, a top hat, lots and lots of flowers, and a cake with frosting, says the bees. But we don't have heads for hats, says Worm, or hands to hold flowers. And we only eat dirt, says Worm. Do you only eat dirt? I sure hope you eat more than dirt. In fact, I hope you don't eat dirt at all. Unless, of course, you are a worm. Wait, says Spider. I can attach the hat and flowers to you with my sticky web. Thank you, say Worm and Worm. But who will eat the cake? Ask the bees. I can eat the cake along with Cricket and Beetle, says Spider. Looks like that spider is winking. Can you wink with your right eye? How about winking with your left eye? Can you wink and smile at the same time, like Miss Spider? What did you say? Asked Cricket and Beetle. Nothing, says Spider with a smile. Now we can be married, says Worm. But which one of you is the bride? Asked the bees. How can we be brides bees if we don't know who the bride is? Do you know who the bride is? Let's find out. I can be the bride, says Worm. I can too, says Worm. But one of you has got to be the groom. Or how can I be best beetle? Asked Beetle. I can be the groom, says Worm. I can too, says Worm. We can be both. Amazing, says Spider. Really? Asked Beetle and the bees. Wait, says Cricket. That isn't how it's always been done. What do you think the worms will do if it hasn't been done this way before? Let's see what the worms have to say. Then we'll just change how it's done, says Worm. Yes, says Worm. And so they were married, because Worm loves Worm. And look, all the other bugs are happy too. Looks like everybody gets a happy ending.
Hello, my name is Alex Dominguez, and I use he, him pronouns, and today I'll be reading you this book called Julian is a Mermaid by Jessica Love. I hope y'all like this story, because I sure do. It's got wonderful pictures. This is a boy named Julian, and this is his abuela. And those are some mermaids. Look how beautiful they are. Julian loves mermaids. And here he is. And it looks like he's making friends with amazing fish. Look at them, all sorts of colors. There's jellyfish, octopus. My favorite animal is the octopus. And look, they gave him a fishtail. He's his own mermaid. Vámonos, mijo. This is our stop. And look at the other mermaids. They're saying goodbye to him. Abuela, did you see the mermaids? I saw them, mijo. Abuela, I am also a mermaid. I'm going to take a bath. You be good. Julian has a good idea. What's he gonna do? It looks like he's putting some leaves on his head, looking into a mirror. He's putting some lipstick on. He's looking out the window and he sees curtains. It looks like he's making something out of the curtains. It looks like he made himself his own gown. It's very beautiful. Oh! Uh-oh. What is Grandma gonna do? He's looking around, thinking. Come here, mijo. What does Abuela have? For me, Abuela? For you, Julian. Abuela is giving him what looks like a really pretty pink necklace. And there they go, outside, in his beautiful outfit. Where are we going? You'll see, says Abuela. You're walking out in the neighborhood, and mermaids, whispers Julian. Like you, mijo. Let's join them. And look, a whole crowd of mermaids just like him. And they do. And that's the end.
Now for our next book, we have one of my personal favorites. I Am Perfectly Designed by Karamo Brown and Jason Brown, illustrated by Anusha Saeed. First, there was you, Dad. And then, there was me. And now there is us. That's right, now there is us. When you first saw me, you said he is perfectly designed from his head to his toes, and I meant every word. Still do. When I was a baby, I looked just like you, only I had no hair, and you had lots. Now, it's the opposite. So true. The first thing I remember is being carried on your shoulders while you walked me all over the city. Remember that? I had such a big baby head. Indeed, but your big baby head was perfectly designed for you. When I was real little, I thought you could touch the moon. Remember that? We'd sit on the roof and reach for it. One day, you'll be big enough to reach for it yourself, but until then, it's perfectly fine to ask for help. Remember when we went as syrup and waffles for Halloween, Dad? Ha, I do. That was awesome. I wonder what will be this year. When I run in the park, jump in the park, climb trees in the park, or pretend I'm a statue in the park, you remind me I am perfectly designed to explore the world. You are, and you always will be. Sometimes, Dad, when I get mad, or sad, or confused, you wrap me in your arms. I like that. Me too. And I remind you that you are perfectly designed and wonderful, no matter what you're feeling. Dad, when I grow up and leave home, will you miss me? Will you go into my room and play with my race cars and stuffed animals? You know I will. Will you sit on the fire escape and feed the pigeons like we do in the summer? The pigeons and the sparrows. Will you remember our favorite moves? I will, and I'll invent some new ones too. Dad, will you miss me? Always. You know what, Dad? What? I will always remember walking through the city and sitting on your shoulders, and maybe when you're older, and I'm taller, I can carry you on mine, because we are perfectly designed for each other. That's right. At the end, we have a lovely little note from the author, who is a member of the LGBT community, speaking out to both members of the community and allies, and anyone who relates to the themes of this book. Dear reader, it's always been a dream of mine to write a story inspired by the many lessons my father has taught me. When I was growing up, anytime I felt fear or uncertainty, my father would remind me that I am perfectly designed. Knowing that at an early age really instilled self-love and confidence in me, which had been hard to find on my own. Now that I'm older, it's easier to walk with my head held up proudly. My father and I felt it was only right to give this message to you. We want readers to never forget that just being your natural self is perfect. It's beautiful in every sense. We know how hard it is to think otherwise, but you can't stop telling yourself this until you feel it. Like everything in your life, it takes some time. But with repetition, you will learn to walk with your head held higher than the Eiffel Tower. From Jason Brown. And then Karamo Brown adds, that's exactly right. Thank you for joining me for that story today.
Okay, I'm going to read The Family Book by Todd Parr. Some families are big. Some families are small. Some families are the same color. Some families are different colors. All families like to hug each other. Some families live together. Some families live far from each other. Some families have a stepmom or stepdad and stepsisters or stepbrothers. Some families adopt children. Some families have two moms or two dads. Some families have one parent instead of two. All families like to celebrate special days together. Some families eat the same things. Some families eat different things. Some families like to be quiet. Some families like to be noisy. Some families live in a house by themselves. Some families share a house with other families. All families can help each other be strong. The end.
With that, we reach the very end of our Rainbow Family Storytime. A big thank you to all of our storytellers who have made this storytime possible. Thank you to Elgin Pride for all your help with making this event happen. And thank you to everybody who attended the storytime. We definitely appreciate you being here, and we want to make sure we say goodbye to everyone, and that is why we will be having our goodbye song as our final part of this story time. So just like the hello song, feel free to sing along or move along if you wish, and with that we will jump right in and say goodbye. We clap and say goodbye, we clap and say goodbye. With our friends at story time, we clap and say goodbye. Now it's time for waving. We wave and say goodbye, we wave and say goodbye. With our friends at story time, we wave and say goodbye. And of course, my favorite part, the dancing. We dance and say goodbye, we dance and say goodbye. With our friends at story time, we dance and say goodbye. Goodbye, everybody. Happy Pride Month. Thank you again for being here today.